What's up, guys? Drew here with Lives Matter. We're here in downtown LA at Fig and 7th. We are going to ask people if they think pedophilia is okay or if pedophilia is a sexual orientation. Let's see what downtown LA has to say. There was a conference, a tech conference, and you may have heard of this already, but it's called the TEDx conferences.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
There was a conference in Europe called the TEDx Live where they kind of give innovative ideas of technology and for the community and just progressing the world, right? One of the speakers gave a very controversial speech at one of these sessions, and I'm going to read you the statement. I just want your personal opinion. She said, "Let me be very clear here. Abusing children is wrong without any doubt, but a pedophile who doesn't abuse children has done nothing wrong. I want to quickly summarize where we are at the moment. According to current research, pedophilia is an unchangeable sexual orientation, just like, for example, heterosexuality. No one chooses to be a pedophile. No one can cease being one. The difference between pedophilia and other sexual orientations is that living out this sexual orientation will end in a disaster. We should accept that pedophiles are people who have now chosen their sexuality, who, unlike most of us, will never be able to live it out freely if they want to lead an upright life. We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference." How do you feel about that statement?
I see the point. That is my, I definitely see what she's saying about it being a sexual orientation and them preferring someone smaller, a child.
So would you say that pedophilia is a sexual preference or orientation?
It's both.
What is the definition of pedophilia or a pedophile?
Right, well,
According to the dictionary.
according to the dictionary, a pedophile is someone that preys on the young. Okay, so...
Well, technically it's someone who has a sexual desire for a child.
No.
That's the dictionary.
I have a lot of feelings about that statement. I feel like the way that it was kind of formatted and worded kind of made it seem very, very human, you know what I mean? And I don't know, she talked a lot about how like her feelings were kind of like natural and that she didn't choose them, right? And I feel like in life there are a lot of feelings that we don't choose, but that doesn't necessarily make them right or justified, you know what I mean?
I just don't agree with the topic because most pedophiles are known for like molesting kids or stuff like that.
We wake up with feelings, you feel me? And anybody can feel how they feel, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, they gonna base their actions off of how they feel, you feel me? So if you feel like that, you're gonna base your actions off those feelings. Who am I to say what you feel is wrong, you feel me? Once you start to create it with society, you know what I'm saying? And that's different, you feel me? So like, if I'm just a pedophile at my own house and I just like watching weird videos and shit like that, that's on my own. But once I come interacting in the streets with little young girls and young boys and shit like that, that's crazy, bro. That's
gross. Pedophiles shouldn't be like a certain group of sexuality. That's just like wrong. Being a pedophile is wrong, no matter how you put it, you know? I don't know. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I actually think it's wrong because because I feel like a pedophile, they do like sexual activity, they commit sexual activities upon like children, but the thing is like they're kids, they don't really know what's right and what's wrong, they don't really know what's happening to them. You can't really do something upon a kid and expect them to be okay with it, and even if they are, like they don't really know what's happening. Like, I don't know, I just feel like it's wrong, and like they're not really at the age of consent and they don't know what's happening with them. So I don't get why it should be a thing, I guess.
We live in California, and obviously one of the hot controversial topics is the gender-neutral bathrooms, okay?
Yeah.
So what is your view on gender-neutral public bathrooms? Do you think, let's speak in the context of not homosexuality or transgenderism, let's speak in the context of pedophilia. So do you think that gender-neutral bathrooms might play some kind of negative role in the community or open some kind of crazy door for that? What is your opinion on that?
I feel like gender-neutral bathrooms would not, per se, open the gates to that.
My question to you guys is, what are you guys' view on gender-neutral bathrooms? Is it okay? Is it wrong? What's your view? You first.
I think it's okay.
What are your views on the gender neutral bathrooms? Do you think that we should have that?
Yeah. That's when like a trans can go into the girls' restroom. I mean, I think it's fine because I don't think they're doing anything bad.
Okay, here's my next question, okay? Would you, hypothetical, okay? Would you feel a little concern if you were in a bathroom with a grown 45-year-old man just sitting there, not doing anything, just sitting there watching all the women go in and out of the bathroom? How would you feel about that?
Uncomfortable
Why?
because there's an older man in the women's restroom watching us go in. Like, even if they're not touching you, they're still watching you go into the restroom and walk out of the restroom.
If a 45-year-old man was standing in the women's bathroom just watching you, that would make you uncomfortable.
Yes.
So a gender neutral bathroom would make that okay, and you could absolutely do nothing and say nothing about that.
I don't think so.
Are you sure about that? If we had a gender neutral bathroom, anyone can go into this bathroom, okay? You, young lady, can go use the restroom, and if a 45-year-old biological male wants to go into the same bathroom and just stand in there and watch you and watch all the people, you can say and do nothing about that.
That's uncomfortable.
So are you for gender neutral bathrooms?
No.
So now you're not.
No, I'm not.
Why?
Because you changed my perspective on it. If someone's just watching me go into the restroom and walk out of the restroom, like wash my hands and do what I need to do, I don't think I would want someone just watching me. But I think it would open possibilities to that because it makes it easier for them to access people younger than them.
Totally agree. So would you say that now when you think about gender neutral bathrooms, are you having second thoughts?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of what you just said about how people that are pedophiles or like want to cause harm to other people can easily just go in there. So it's not a place where people can just go and be comfortable.
Now let me ask you like a hypothetical question, okay? Let's say like a law gets passed where if any biological man wants to literally walk into the bathroom with you ladies and just sit in there and watch you, you guys don't have a problem with that?
If they're watching me, then yeah, I do.
If they're just sitting in the corner, just like really creepy, just like sitting there, like how would that make you feel?
I would feel like really awkward. Like it just, I don't know, like because I feel like, I don't know, like it just, I just wouldn't really want to use the bathroom because I would just feel weird. Like I don't know what they're going to like do. I don't know why they're there. It just feels a little weird in a way.
What about you?
I tell them to get the out. Like, don't stare at me when I'm going to the bathroom. That's disgusting. No.
So here's my question, okay? If you felt uncomfortable, you wouldn't be able to say that to them. Because the law, if there was a gender neutral law that would allow them to legally be in that bathroom and stand in there and just literally be in there, and a biological man to sit in a women's restroom, you would be able to say absolutely nothing. So how does that make you feel? Like you would have no way, if you felt like you were violated, like your protection or your safety was in violation, you would be able to say absolutely nothing.
But like, I feel like, okay, it's one thing if a guy wants to use the same bathroom as a woman. Like if they're in there, if they're like washing their hands with me, it's fine because like we do our business behind closed doors. But like if they're just sitting there and like looking at you, you know, I'm just not going to use the bathroom because that's kind of creepy. Because why are you looking at me? Like if you're in a bathroom, go use the bathroom. Don't just sit there and like stare at people, you know.
So if the gender neutral bathroom was something that's okay, you would be able to do absolutely nothing, and every time you went into a bathroom you might experience that, and you might feel awkward every time going into a bathroom, and you could absolutely say nothing to do it.
You should put another law on like
what?
If someone's staring at you in the bathroom from another race, you can yell at them, or I don't know,
Another gender. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean. But yeah.
So doesn't that defeat the purpose of a transgender bathroom?
I can't right now.
Like a law on top of a law?
Highly unlikely.
If you go home right now and you could look it up, literally, you can look up registered sex offenders on your block, and it will shock you as what you would find.
All I know is I've never been stared at in a bathroom, and I don't anticipate it happening anytime soon.
Hypothetical question. What if, let's say you have like a 13-year-old in a public bathroom, and there's a 45-year-old pedophile in the bathroom, not touching anyone, just sitting there, just sexually lusting and watching this 15, 16-year-old little girl, or 12-year-old girl, whatever, young girl, right? Just sitting there and just having sexual fantasies just in the bathroom and just sitting there watching. Would you have like
Watching them go to the bathroom?
do anything?
Just in there chilling? I would alert authorities. Like,
Why?
because you shouldn't be doing that. Like,
So what if this person, you alert the authorities, what if this person turns around and comes and says, well, I identify as a woman, I can be in here. Who are you to tell me I can't sit in here?
well, that's okay, but if you're purposefully making somebody feel uncomfortable by watching them perform acts or watching them go to the, like, whatever you're doing, like, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're a man, woman, transgender, like, I don't care. If you're watching me and making me feel uncomfortable, I'm gonna tell you. So it doesn't matter if it's in the bathroom, on the street, in a store, like, if I feel uncomfortable, even just like as a woman, like, people just sometimes make me feel uncomfortable. Like, I don't like being watched, it alarms me. I don't like being followed, it alarms me. Like, just as a person in general, like, it's just an alarming feeling having somebody watch you. So I don't think it has anything to do with your sexual orientation. Like, I don't care what you identify as, just don't sit there and make me feel uncomfortable. If you're making me feel uncomfortable, I'm going to let you know. I have no issue doing that. So
But what if the law were to now say, if this person just comes out and says, hey, I'm a 45-year-old man, but I can stand in this bathroom publicly and I don't care how you feel because I identify as a woman, I don't care how you feel. So don't you think that would just create like another crazy argument? Like
about
like
whether
if,
or not you belong.
Yeah, like if a pedophile is like straight up like, look, I'm a grown man, but I identify as a woman. I can just chill in this public restroom and watch all these ladies sexually if I want, and no one can literally say anything to me. Like, what do we do about that? You think that there won't be people like that would do something?
Yeah, no, I definitely believe that there are going to be people out there that do stuff like that. And I'm just saying, as anybody else around who's witnessing or who is being the one watched or whatever, I feel like you should say something. Like, don't bring into play their orientation or whatever, their gender orientation. But
here's the thing, though. Yeah. The argument wouldn't be your gender necessarily. The argument would be, hey, the law says that if I can stand in here because I feel like it, I can. You can't say anything about it. So if you feel like your safety is violated, or if you feel like something might go down, you can absolutely say nothing about it because of that law.
Well, I feel like being in a place and being like whoever you identify as just is not the issue. I just feel like the safety of everybody else, being in a room with a pedophile, or being in a room with somebody who's watching you, or being in a room with somebody who is clearly doesn't have like the what's the word?
Self-control.
Not even self-control, but like not wanting to do you harm. Like, I feel like you should have the right as a person to be like, I'm uncomfortable. Not because of who you identify as, not because this is a public area, but I just feel uncomfortable because I don't like people watching me. Especially when I'm in the bathroom. Like, that's just weird.
So to be completely honest with you, what you just said is literally the argument of many heterosexuals in California that don't want gender-neutral bathrooms. For real, do you think that kind of logic that most liberals in California is using, that, hey, if someone just feels the way they feel, they should do whatever they want to do. If a man feels like he's a woman, he can go use the women's restroom. Or if a woman feels like she's a man, she can go use a man's restroom. But let me ask you this. Don't you think that's like a pedophile's paradise?
I mean,
yeah, no, I definitely think that gender-neutral bathrooms are definitely beneficial for a lot of people in the trans community, or people who don't identify as a cisgender person, a male or a female. You know, there are people who kind of fall between those lines, or really believe in their heart that they do, you know? So I think it has less to do about what other people think who aren't them, you know what I mean? I feel like their feelings are valid, and they need a space where they can, you know, go to the bathroom like anyone else. So, yeah.
So do you think that possibly that pedophilia might take advantage of a transgender neutral bathroom?
Oh, for sure. But I feel like people can take advantage of a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Well, let's just keep it on this subject.
Yes. My answer to that is yes.
So do you think that if we have transgender neutral bathrooms, like let's talk about anyone, right? If you're in a bathroom and there is someone in there, you have like a 14-year-old girl in the women's restroom.
Yeah.
And let's hypothetically say a 45-year-old pedophile that identifies, that's a male, but identifies as a female, but is a pedophile and has a sick, twisted lust for little girls, walks into this restroom and just simply wants to sit there. And the definition of a pedophile is just to have a sexual desire for a child. And is just sitting there in the restroom lusting after these little girls. Is there an issue there?
Okay, I feel like nobody should just be like sitting in the restroom. That's kind of just like, it's a restroom. You go there to do your thing and kind of leave. However, I do believe that
stuff like that happens all the time.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And I feel like there needs to be an accountability system that kind of that doesn't sacrifice people's privacy, of course, but makes sure that these things are kind of in check. I don't know necessarily all the details of that. You know, that's kind of I feel like that's why it's a controversial topic, because there's so many fine lines. You know, but yeah.
So you would agree that if we did have that, do you think that transgender neutral bathrooms might actually cause some issues for some innocent people that really don't have any desire for that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that's a problem or that's not a problem?
I mean, it's for sure a problem, but I feel like we kind of have to like weigh out like our kind of priorities right now. And if it has to do with somebody's identity and them feeling comfortable in their own skin and being an accepted individual in society, like
even for the sake of public safety for children?
I think for a moment there might be trade-offs, but
so when does it become okay to sacrifice a child's public safety for how someone feels?
Ooh, devil's advocate. Okay. I don't think it ever becomes okay to sacrifice a child's safety or privacy. And that's why I recommended an accountability system. So accountability, always important. Hell yeah.
So if we had transgender neutral bathrooms, we would have some kind of accountability system, like possibly maybe the government up in there watching people?
It's really odd because it's like, I'm like thinking about like different options we would have, you know, like.
So would you feel comfortable with the government watching people in the bathroom?
That would be even more weird, but like what privacy haven't they invaded at this point? So I don't know. It's very like up in the air.
So why can't we just have male bathrooms, female bathrooms, and allow people to have their own personal privacy? Problem solved.
Maybe the alternative might be, because I feel like the issue is that when a trans person or a person who doesn't identify on like these polar sides of like the spectrum of gender go into these bathrooms, they're oftentimes subject to violence, hate, you know what I mean? And they need a safe space or a space that is for them. So yeah, I feel like that's the issue. You know, safety comes into play when it has to do with them. So yeah, is the option to give them their own safe space? Like I don't know. You know,
wouldn't that be more like segregation then?
No, segregation's very different. Good try though.
I'm just making the conversation interesting.
Yeah, no. I feel you. And I really appreciate like asking these questions because these are things that we definitely need to ask ourselves so we can have an opinion, you know? Because if we're complacent and don't have an opinion, then we're kind of just like.
So would you still be for gender neutral bathrooms, even if it meant sacrificing the public safety of children? Because that's pretty much what would happen.
Damn.